price you see is the price you pay, unlike cable. AT&T Internet. Speeds up to 45 megs for $30 a month.
I don't think it's impossible for the markets to rally here. The one concern I have, I've been in the business since the mid-'80s. I hate to admit it, but the bond guys are always smarter than the equity guys. So it is a little bit of a red flag to see yields pull back while the Fed is starting language to move forward with bumps up in rates. Steve Leisman, who was on before, made a very interesting point. The money was off the table for a March hike, but maybe if yields pull back here, it would give the Fed a little bit of wiggle room to make a move because the bond market has pulled back. I think in general, one of the big issues is consensus right now is for 2.3, 2.5% GDP growth, and the administration's talking about 3 to 4% GDP growth. So the bond guys are definitely seeing something that we aren't, and it may just be a pause in policy or a delay in infrastructure spending and tax deals until the health care bill gets resolved.
Or maybe it's just pushing out their bets for Fed rate hikes and not factoring in 3 this year or 1 in March, and therefore maybe it's not a verdict on some of the Trump and Republican policies.
That may be the case. There's kind of this shift in money away from dividend-paying stocks, and the money moved to large value and small cap. And maybe what investors really need to do is not completely abandon the dividend plays, because rates may not go up as fast as people had anticipated, and to be competition for some of those dividend-paying stocks and broaden kind of where the rally started after the Trump election, and have some money on the sidelines in case we get a pullback. This is the 36th or 37th consecutive day without a 1% intraday move in the S&P. You have to go back to 1996 to see that happen. And my father taught me, don't sell a dull market short. So we could have moves either way, Sarah, for sure.
Rich, what's your view on the dollar, and is it something that's influencing your sector and equity choices?
Where the dollar's affecting me most, I don't think the dollar's going to get as strong as people think, but there has been a move away from multinational stocks, especially the dividend-paying names that have been affected. But when you listen to earnings reports and we're not seeing the revenue growth or revenue misses, I think people have to be very careful about a strong dollar starting to affect some of the largest cap names. Small cap, less of an issue, obviously, because for the S&P, 30% of revenues are overseas, so it definitely has a larger impact.
Checking into the penthouse.